Hi, hello, welcome. My name is Amber, and today we're going to do a video about my favorite plants from 2024 and then go over my 2025 plant goals. Most of it's like repotting and doing other stuff, but some of it's more long-term goals. So we'll get into it. Okay. All right. My favorite plants of 2024, like my number one favorite, is my Thaumatophyllum something. Damn it, I should look that up. Thaumatophyllum by bipinnatifidum. Bipinnatifidum. Bipinnatifidum? My Okay, so my favorite plant is the Thaumatophyllum bipinnatifidum. Bipinnatifidum. Anyway, this plant lives in my living room, and it is this big guy right here. Look how beautiful it is. And I put it here, gosh, I want to say like a couple of years ago, and it has just taken off ever since. So it started giving me huge leaves. I'll have to insert some footage or a picture of it from before I first put it here or when I first put it here, because it has absolutely exploded in growth, and it's putting out a new leaf right now that is huge. It's gonna be a beast of a leaf. So that is big, and then it has this big one in the window here that is honestly huge. This guy is super happy in this spot, and it's in a cute little pot. This is from my mom, and then I put it in a pie plate because it's so hard to find non-plastic saucers. Thrifted pie plate for the win. And yeah, this plant absolutely loves this location in my house, so it stays there. I'm gonna probably insert some footage of the sun hitting it because it's magical, y'all. It's so pretty in this corner. Like when the light is coming in through the window, it's just beautiful. Okay, so number two on my list is my Monstera deliciosa, and that is in my living room or my dining room. And this plant seems pretty happy here. It has a grow light right above it because despite having this giant east window, it don't get a lot of light because of the awning blocks a ton of light. This guy I bought at the beginning of the year, and it had some nice leaves, but nothing like super awesome. And then all of a sudden, it gave me all those little holes. Look at how big that leaf is. It's so big and so pretty. And there's two plants in here, and both of them are doing it. And I'm so thrilled because I've literally had a Monstera for years, which I'm going to show you. It is back in the dining room, or the living room, sorry. Oh, back in the living room. And look at this. I chopped it up to every single node. I chopped every node and whatnot. So this is the best it's ever looked. So this is my original. And it's just not at the same level. I don't know if I ever will be, but I might get rid of this one. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Back to my phone. Next on my list is my Hoya Crimson Princess. And it is living in this window. It is this plant here. And then I also have this one on my list, which is my Hoya pubicalyx. And I think it's like the purple Hawaiian or something like that. I don't remember. But this, let me try to fix some of this backlighting. Here we go. So this plant is doing so well. And this is a Crimson Princess. This is like the original vine that still has variegation, but it's totally reverted. Or maybe it has two vines. Yeah, this guy's just totally reverted. It had a nasty case of mealybugs, which I overcame this year. And that started giving these huge leaves. Like, that's a big leaf. Look at this one up here, too. Huge leaves everywhere. And it bloomed for the very first time. I've had this plant for like 5 years, and it finally bloomed for me. And it is so pretty, and it is just exploded in growth, completely taken over and grown up to the ceiling. And it is so happy right now that it finally doesn't have mealybugs. Poor thing. And then, yeah, this is the Hoya pubicalyx, and it is really happy too. It got a nice big leaf. I didn't realize they could be that big, but it gave me a bunch of like really long leaves, a whole bunch of them, and they are just so pretty. Like, I'm just in love with this plant. It has not bloomed for me yet. I've had it for the same amount of time as the other one, but I also was kind of neglectful, and I left it in a tiny 4-inch pot forever, and it was completely all roots. So now it's in a larger pot and a little bit happier. So it is also climbing all the way to the ceiling with multiple vines, and I'm hoping it will bloom for me this year. So yes, also one of my favorites because I love these leaves. They're so pretty. Look at these pretty plants. I love the planter I got. This is just like a cheap thing I got from Walmart, like the little loop-de-doo guy. So pretty. And then next on my list on the plant shelf is another Hoya. This is, I'll bring it out here. Whee! I'm about to drop it. This is my Hoya australis, just the regular green australis, and it is so cute. It was climbing the shelf. It was in a pot right here, and then it climbed all the way up to the top, over, and then that way. And it did it with multiple stems. So it had a stem on this one, it had a stem on this one, it had a stem on that one, and it was all just going wild on the shelf. So I don't know. It was doing okay. It liked climbing, obvi, but it was hard to clean, like hard to keep clean and maintain, and I couldn't move it from the shelf because it was so attached to it. So I undid all of it and then I wrapped it around itself. So this is entirely just the plant itself. And I do have a couple stakes holding it up on the sides, but it's made its own circle. And I love it. It's so cute. So when I took the vines off the shelf, I ended up with a lot of extra. These are all the vines that it had that had leaves. So I put all these just in moss and they're rooting. Let me find a root. Hard to see through this glass. There you go. There's some roots. So these are all rooting up, and then back in here, I should have just grabbed it and brought it with me. This was just this bare stems, and I had saran wrap over the top of this, and it's doing really well. So all of these are rooting and now putting off leaves. So that was all bare stems, and these were all. So I don't need or want any more Hoya australis, to be perfectly honest. So if anybody wants to do a trade, hit me up. I think that would be great. Yeah, let's do a trade. I will get these fully rooted and potted, and then let's see. I've been on a terrarium kick this year, and in here we have, it's kind of foggy, but we have this guy, which is so cool. And it was struggling. I had it far away from the light, so now we have all this dead moss. I didn't realize it needed so much light, but it does. But this is my favorite. And I've done a bunch of propagations in here. I am like in love. Like this is just something I found at the nursery store. So awesome. And then we have this little propagation vessel, which I think is too humid. So I need to take the lid off and leave it off, let this guy dry. But I have some ZZ propagations in here, and they're actually rooting up. I don't know if you can see the roots in there, but it is rooting up and rotting. So I have that trim, and then I have this awesome terrarium up here. And I absolutely love this. It's having a issue with some bugs at the moment, some fungus gnats. But isn't that so pretty? I absolutely love this. And this ZZ in here is fully rooted, so I probably need to pull it out soon. I don't know if you can see the roots, but yeah, you can see all these roots in there. So I need to pull that ZZ out before it gets stuck, and I have to like break the glass or get rid of the plant. I don't know. So I love that one, and then that one, and that one. And then I have this little guy, and it just has some moss. And this is just a candle. It's like a Bath and Body Works candle that I just flipped upside down. Makes a good terrarium. So this is just moss, and it's going to town, growing. And I have one more, and it's not doing so hot. It's kind of not getting enough light, I think, also. And a sweet seed pod I found on vacation. Very Amish guy. I need to put some propagations in there, I think. Next we have begonias. Okay, right here we have my begonia maculata. It is doing so well. This is all cuttings from my mother plant, and I think I was too ambitious in the pot I put it in, and some of it rotted after I repotted it, but it was propagating in water, so I mean that's bound to happen, right? That guy is doing good, and I still have another plant which is twice this size and twice that thick, and it is just amazing. And then over here, I have a casualty of my 2-week vacation I just took. This guy suffered a bit, got some crispy leaves, but this is a new leaf that I just tore, and it's flowering. So this guy's doing good, and it is in a tiny self-watering pot situation, but not big enough. That didn't last 2 weeks. So this guy's going to be a work in progress. It'll look good eventually. It grows like a weed, so it'll be okay. And then this guy also grows like a weed. And I don't know the ID of this plant. I don't know the ID of this one either. I know it's a Rex begonia, but beyond that, I don't know. If you know, let me know. So yeah, same with this one. I don't know what variety this is. I got it as a cutting locally and I just loved it. And I actually did a painting of this one. I don't have it with me at the moment. I'll put on a picture of the painting I did of this. Look how beautiful this plant is. And it only has some small leaves on it now because I had to cut it back pretty hard. But it does get leaves like twice this size. And that one's not particularly small. But it's so pretty. And it grows like a weed. Like, seriously, I can't understate how easy this plant has been. I've had it for like 5 years and I underwater it was in terracotta, which horrible idea, by the way. So I finally repotted it this year into a big pot and it seems really happy. And I put it over here and then I dropped a bunch of stuff on top of it and knocked a ton of leaves off and it looks great and you can't even tell I did that. So good plant. And then I have a bunch of cuttings of this guy. Actually, I should pull them down. So these are some cuttings I have of some of the big leaves it was giving me. And this guy is so ready to be potted up. I'll probably put it in a separate pot to begin with, so it like can get the care it needs, and before I pot it back in with the big plant, just for a minute, you know. So I have that one, and then since I knocked off a bunch of leaves, these are all the leaves I knocked off recently, and they're all rooted too. I need some more water. I don't know, this begonia has been on my list of favorites for a long time just because it's so hardy and pretty and unique and it has gorgeous purple, like the maroon backs on the leaves. I love it. This is such a pretty plant. Love, love, love. And this guy too. I actually got this one back in 2019 or 2020, one of the two, because I couldn't find this. I couldn't find the begonia maculata. It was just not super available, so I just got this one last year, I want to say, and it's going crazy. I mean, it has brown tips or whatever, but it also grows like a weed, so whatevs. Okay, next one on the list is my Raven ZZ, and it lives right here in my window. And this is a west window with a little bit of south tilt. I did this recently. I should probably undo that. Doesn't need it. But this guy, I was so excited to get this because I absolutely love ZZs, and I was so excited. Look at this brand new leaf it gave me this year. It's such a beast. It's so big, but I think people take it to heart when they read that this is a low light plant, and it's a low light tolerant plant, I guess, but if you give it light, it will fucking grow and grow and grow, and it is so pretty. I absolutely love this plant so much. And I have a regular ZZ too, that guy right here. And I usually put this guy outside every year to get good growth. And there are my puppies. This is little Pigeon. She's so sweet and cute. She's such a good girl. And this is PETA. She's a wild little creature, huh? Yeah. And then there's Hunt. He's a sweetheart. He wants all the attention and loves and cuddles in the world. Yep, all my little couch potatoes. So sweet. But yeah, this plant, I put it outside every year, or most years, and it grows really well. Lots of light, and these plants get thirsty. They like a lot of water, and I usually decide when they're thirsty. Like right now, this one I just watered. Soil's wet, so if the soil was dry, and these were like slightly, if they gave, right now they're super hard because I just watered it yesterday or the day before. This is super firm, so if it was slightly soft, if it gave a little bit, then I would water it, and that happens way more often than you would think, but only if you give this guy lots of light, and it loves this west window. I might even put this guy outside this year. We'll see. I don't know. That is one of my favorites for sure. And then next, let's see, we have my Thai constellation, which is kind of buried in here, but it is doing well, and it has this gorgeous leaf. That's probably the coolest one it's given me so far. And then we have that leaf, and it's putting out a new leaf right now, so that's really exciting. I'm going to try to direct this root down into the pot. I did that with this one, and now it's like super stable. It was really good for it. I liked it a lot. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this plant a lot, and it's fun to see it grow and whatnot. Hi, and then finally, my last favorite plant of 2024 is this. See, I always forget what it's called. This is Anthurium, Blue Velvet, and Crystallinum. I got this from Steve's Leaves, but oh, it is so pretty. It gave me these leaves in my care, and it's putting out this one, which is looking like it's gonna size up pretty nicely. And then, unfortunately, this one struggled a little bit while I was gone on vacation, so that's gonna be an ugly leaf. But all the other ones look good. Put out that leaf. I think that one and that one, or maybe that one too, are the original leaves. So it's definitely been happy in my care. And I just look at this plant all the time and I touch it because it's like suede. It's so soft. I really like this plant. And this is my first anthurium I ever bought. So cool. Okay, so that's it for my number one plants my top plants of 2024. Okay, and now we're moving on to plant goals. And my first plant goal has to do with my fiddle leaf fig, which looks pretty dang cool at this angle. So last year I put it outside and I chopped it. Let's see if I can show you where the chop is. There it is. So I chopped this stem. It has 2 stems in the plant and I chopped one. And this is all growth from last summer, sitting outside. So this year I have these propagated. I don't see any roots in there. I might open these up, or at least one of them up, to see if it's rooting. I'm trying to propagate the tops and then I'll pot them back in to the plant, and then I'm going to chop this stem probably down here and then let it bush out again, because it's nice that these stems are getting really thick, which means it'll be able to support itself better. So that is my number one goal for 2025, is just to continue rehabbing this plant. I've had it for like 6 years and I love the fiddle leaf fig. They're so pretty. I just absolutely love them. It's my OG favorite plant. Absolutely love. And I just want it to look as good as it can, because it has looked really good in the past and it's had a rough time. I have abused it and neglected it, and it has not been in the best conditions, so I'm lucky it's still alive, I guess. But it just needs a bit of love and attention. So moving on, I'll give you a look-see at my Tradescantia. What is this one? Tradescantia, I want to say Zebrina. I don't know. I got this at the beginning of, I got this in January 2024 as a little tiny pot, and this is what it has grown into. I might show you some pictures of it, like not even that long ago, and it is just totally taken over. So I do like this plant right here, but I think it would be better as an outdoor plant, because every time I move it, it falls apart. And then these are all bits that have fallen off whenever I water it. And I just recently put it in here so that I could like move it around and stuff, because it's just in my kitchen window being a mess. So I think I like that better, than I can just put it there. And it looks good. Anyway, my goal for this plant is to get some big hanging baskets. Sorry, we're going back to the patio. I want to get some big hanging baskets here and here, and do the Boston fern on top, and then the Tradescantia hanging like around the sides or down. And then I have 3 big pots to put at the bottom of each pillar also. So I'm just going to be putting all that stuff out there. And these walls come off. These are just like for winter hangouts. But yeah, these walls come off, and I'll have to install a watering system also. But that shouldn't be hard. I already have a misting system installed all around. So this, when it's really hot, I live in Utah, southern Utah, so it gets super duper hot in the summer. So we have misting systems so that you can hang out. And it's really nice when it's hot outside and you want to be outside to just be misted. So big baskets of that. And I think it'll grow like a freaking weed outside, because it absolutely loves this light up here. So I think it'll do great, because that is a year's growth with moderate neglect. So next up I have this Hoya, and I keep forgetting the name of it. Did I write it on here? Oh, I did. Hoya macrophylla variegata. I got this guy at a farmer's market, just one leaf cutting with no roots, and it is fully rooted now. So it even has, oh, you can't see, it has roots coming out the bottom, and this pot is honestly full of roots. It is doing so well, but it's not growing, and I'm pretty sure it has flat mites. Look at all that knobby growth. So my goal this year is to get a vine and another leaf. That's it. Just one leaf and a vine. That's all I want. I mean, obviously I want this to grow and turn into a gorgeous, nice plant, but small goals are more achievable and more satisfying when you can knock them off. Oh, let's see. Next up, we have moss poles. So back here is the moss, one of the moss poles I put together on one of my videos, and it is putting out its next leaf. And this is the leaf it was putting out when I was potting it, and I damaged it slightly right there and there. But it still turned out, and it's huge. It's bigger than all the other leaves. So I'm really excited to see this plant grow. It has our fuzzy petioles. This is the Philodendron squamiferum. And I don't think I've seen any roots in the pole yet. It is rooted in. Like, you can't pull it out, but you can't see the roots from the back either. So that one's not quite fully rooted, but it's getting there. And then this one, this moss pole, is doing super well, and it has a root right there. First root, and it's doing good. Like a couple days ago, the root only came to here, and now it's here. That's pretty awesome. And I did an extension. I shoved this in here, and I shoved it in too far to make it fit on this shelf still. So yeah, it's fine. But this new leaf is coming out. This is the leaf it was putting out when I put it on the pole. Not substantially bigger, but I didn't really expect a bigger leaf yet. So hopefully this next one will be big. And then on the subject of moss poles, I also want to, let's see, put these cuttings on moss poles. I have this. What is this? This is just a golden pothos. I want to do these golden pothos cuttings on a pole and then just repot the rest back into the mother plant, which is right here in this window. I want to fill out, I guess this is also part of my goals. I want to finish filling out the pot. You can see it's only like half full. So I want to fill this pot because this plant is pretty, and I mostly want variegated leaves. So I don't know, maybe I won't pot all those green ones in because the variegation is really pretty. I love this plant. I've had it for years. It grows and then it hits the floor and then I chop it and then do it all over again. And then this is the other one I want to put on a pole. This is my Monstera adansonii, and it is giving me some good sized leaves, some good mature leaves. Like this one is huge. I really like this leaf, but I think it would do great on a moss pole. It would really like it because it has been kind of giving me some small growth at the bottom. But I've had this plant, gosh, how many years? I think I got it in 2020. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got this plant in 2020. So I've had this one for years. And again, every time it hits the floor or gets annoying, I chop it. I've had those. I don't remember when I got that one. I've had that pothos for a long time, I think. But I have Monstera cuttings right here. One of them has rooted, and there's two others in here that haven't rooted yet. So it just takes a long time for Adansonii to root, I think. But once those root, those are going on a moss pole. I might just put this one on a moss pole soon. I don't know. Yeah, I'm excited to see these leaves get huge. Wouldn't that be so pretty? So pretty. Okay, lost my phone. Next on the list is... Oh, I think I already kind of went over this, but I have a bunch of propagations of begonias, like various begonias, like these guys up here. And then I have this one is the maculata, and this leaf is huge. And I think I knocked it off or whatever. So these guys are ready to be repotted. I need to get on top of that and get this plant full, fill it up. Okay, and then I was thinking of maybe doing some propagations of this guy. I think that would be fun. Okay, let's see, what else do we got? The next one is dealing with my verrucosum, philodendron verrucosum. So it did suffer a little bit from my 2-week vacation, but not bad, honestly. This leaf came out while I was away, and it looks really good. Like this plant maybe is finally getting used to me. I don't know, but that leaf is pretty good. This one had some spider mite damage. I did treat it with horticultural oil right before I left on vacation, and I haven't seen any on there since I've been back, so I don't know. But yeah, some of the leaves are pretty bad, like the bottom leaves are super bad. So I think I'm going to chop and prop these, like top cutting this one and this one, and then just do wet stick propagation all the way down. And then I'm going to try to save this leaf because it's looking pretty decent, seems strong, and then have the plant grow back from there, from this leaf. So that one will have a root system. So I guess this is my backup. And then I want to put this on a moss pole. Once these guys are rooted, I'm going to put them back in this pot with this guy and put it on a moss pole. So that is my plan for this plant this year. Next on my list, I think I need more grow lights in the dining room. So I've had my pothos sitting here for a while because I had my Christmas tree up, and it actually looked really pretty, just cascading down to the floor, but there's no light here, so I moved it back into the window. So I think if I put either a pendant or maybe just ceiling lights would be good, and that way I can maybe put something over here too. It just needs more light in here because everything's just kind of crushed against the window. This light is not low enough for this plant, so only like part of it gets light, and it loves it. It's doing well, but yeah. So that's the project I want to work on. Get a light, get some plants right here, because I had my fiddle leaf fig here for a while and it looked so pretty. We'll get that done. I think that'll be nice. So I have a string of turtles, which is recovering nicely. I think this plant has really shallow root system, and so it was getting overwatered because this big of a pot, the roots don't fill it, so it's just rotting away. So I want to pot that into this cute little pot because it's a nice shallow pot, and then I want it to fill out like the whole top. I think it would be really cute. And then hang it somewhere. I don't know where I'm going to hang it, but I think that would be a better fit for this plant because of the shallow roots. So next I need to, I think, repot my avocado. So this is my avocado tree, and these are some of the original leaves. They look so good. They're big, they're dark green, they're healthy, and now I have this growth, which I think I looked online. Everybody was saying this is overwatering, but I'm not an overwaterer, I swear. If anything, I underwater. But I think what's going on, let me pull it out. So I think when I potted these up, because this is the original soil these guys were in when I rooted them, and it has good roots. I mean, but when I rooted these, this is the original container I had them in, and it was fine. I think I just got excited, and I think I just grabbed some soil from the garden because I didn't have any potting soil at the moment. So I think the soil is taking way too long to dry out, which is why it's being overwatered. It's winter now and it's cooler, so the soil just isn't drying enough. And then it got too dry while I was on vacation, and it got crispy edges, and ugh, this plant's a bit of a mess at the moment. So I'm gonna repot this in a chunky soil mix and then hope that I start getting these good leaves again. It has to be overwatering. That's my best guess. If you think otherwise, let me know, because I will try other things. And then I put bonsai something on my list, and that kind of applies to all the tree type plants I have. Like this guy, I could bonsai it. I'm gonna chop these low again at some point just to get a nice thick stem at the base and just keep them small. So it needs to stay kind of bonsai and small, and same with this. Another bonsai situation we're working with is the jade plant. This is, my mom actually gave me this plant, and she gave it to me in this planter. The plant was probably this tall and just flopping over, and I had stakes and sticks and whatnot, and it just kept falling over, and it was just having a hard time. So I repotted it in this pot this summer, and I buried the stems down here. So these stems go all the way down, and it is very sturdy. It's holding its own. And then I chopped it back. It was still like up here, so I chopped it back, and I think I'm going to try to do a better job of pinching out the growth points like that, like just pinching them out and forcing it to branch more, so I can get really thick woody stems and then have more compact growth on the top. So that is a long-term project that I'm working on. That's going to take forever. And then I also have the same thing happening with this other variety of jade that I have. I completely chopped it back this summer and then just let it grow back, and it's still recovering. So I'm hoping this year it'll put on some new leaves and look really good. So yeah, that's a big long-term project we're working on. Okay, so my camera overheated, so I had to let it cool down. So I took a nap and did a bunch of other shit. So I'm pretty sure I finished talking about the last one, but we're gonna move on anyway. This is my Aglaonema something. I don't know exactly what it's called. I don't remember its name. Maybe I wrote it on it. Did I? Silver Bay. Aglaonema Silver Bay. Thank you, myself. My past self. But anyway, I've had this plant for like years. I think I got it in 2020, and it never has done much, but it finally found a happy spot in my house and started growing for real. It has the most leaves it's ever had, and it looks the best it ever has. So it has a lot of bare stem, so I want to cut this somewhere, probably down here. I don't know exactly where, probably right here, and propagate the top, and then hopefully the bottom will reshoot new growth, and then I'll plant it all together to get a fuller plant, because they look nice as full plants. So that'll be my last project plant of 2025 so far that I can think of. All right, well, thank you for watching, and Happy New Year. I hope you all have a wonderful year, this 2025. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!